Today's guest on No Straight Lines is Lee Howells. He's the founder and MD of South Wales Safety Limited. And this is a story of success, collapse, addiction, and one of the most powerful comebacks you'll hear. Born in Pontypridd, Lee wasn't academic, but he was competitive, representing Wales in amateur golf at just 19. He built a fast-rising career in sales. On the outside, things looked really good, but behind the scenes, they weren't. Addiction, pressure, and poor decisions led to losing a business, a marriage, a home, and personal bankruptcy. Then came the darkest chapter in his life, a battle with drug addiction that nearly cost him his life. What followed wasn't luck. It was wake-up time. It was work, hard work. Lee rebuilt his life from the inside out. Today, Lee is drug-free, sober, and a very successful businessman. This is a conversation about resilience, accountability, and what it really takes to come back stronger. Lee, lovely to see you this morning. Thanks very much for coming along to the studio.
Welcome. No problem. Thanks for the invite.
Absolute delight to have you here. And we're going to kick off with your current role, what you're doing in business, because you're the managing director and founder of South Wales Safety Limited.
Correct. Yep, that's right.
Give us an insight. What does that mean?
Right. So South Wales Safety, consultancy-based business.
Right.
And we support, as three main divisions. We support businesses with health and safety specific guidance and support to make sure that they're legislatively compliant and to make sure their workers go home safe every single day to their families. The middle section is ISO consulting. So we help businesses attain key ISO accreditations for quality, environmental and health and safety. And then the third division is fire safety compliance. So we're qualified and competent to conduct fire risk assessments on building premises to make sure that it's not just people go home safe, but properties are actually kept safe as well.
Well, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable.
I bet it is. And when did you start the business?
Started business April, May 24.
So it's relatively new.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, just coming up. It will be coming up to the second year. Very enjoyable, varied. But yeah.
Varied and busy, because you already told me that you were up at early this morning.
Yeah.
Your first appointment, I think, was it 5:45?
I was in the office at 5:45. I'm in the office by 6 o'clock most mornings, to be honest.
Then a meeting down, and the office is in Treforest. Then down to Cardiff, your first appointment.
Yep.
Then
right.
back to Treforest.
Yeah, a couple of Teams meetings.
I know, a couple of Teams meetings, and here you are now in sunny Newport.
That's right, yeah.
You'll have to have a lie down now.
I know,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Gets to about 3 o'clock and it's the lull.
Well, look, for anybody listening to this podcast thinking, okay, founder, managing director, South Wales Safety Limited, very busy man, entrepreneur, doing great things, whizzing around South Wales, the marketplace, advising businesses. Yeah. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
But it's not always been like that, is it?
No, not for me, not personally, no.
Okay.
No, it's been indifferent.
Let's roll the clock back.
Yeah, okay.
So, Valley Boy.
Yep, yeah, Pontypridd.
Born and bred in
Pontypridd.
Pontypridd.
Yeah.
And I understand, because you've told me when at a very young age you were a pretty good golfer.
It wasn't bad. Yep, I took it up at 13. And then, later on when we moved to London, I played quite regularly. Got the handicap down to 4.
Wow.
But before that, I actually managed to represent my country up at the Belfry.
Play for Wales?
Yep.
At what age level?
Yep, at 19 I was then. So I played a Four Nations Classic against England, Ireland and Scotland.
Yes.
The week after the Ryder Cup at the Belfry on the Brabazon and the Derby courses. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I took some family up with me. It was a fantastic few days.
Now, I'm not a golfer, but I do know the difference between winning and losing. You represented Wales. Did you win? Did you lose?
We came second.
Wow.
We came second. Ireland won, Scotland third and England fourth.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so really enjoyable that was.
Well, that memory's in the can. You'll never forget that.
Absolutely.
So aside from the golf, I think that your first sort of experience in the workplace was in a sales and business development role, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Starting from school, it was for an architect's company, but then after a couple of years, I went into sales.
And you've written some of the information you provided very kindly for me, that you had a career with organisations including HP Bulmer, which is famous for the Strongbow brand.
Absolutely, yep.
And I'm assuming that was some sort of account manager sales role, was it?
That was sales role, yep. Selling into East London pubs.
Oh my God.
Fantastic
Okay, you
job.
got some stories to tell there.
Oh, yeah. Pubs, clubs, strip joints.
Yeah, I'm assuming the craze had gone by then, had they?
Yeah, but with the Blind Beggar,
Yeah.
all of Whitechapel area, that was all part of my area. And it was all dry blackthorn
Yeah,
cider
I
at
remember
that point.
Blackthorn, yeah.
So they hadn't had seen HB Bulmer Strongbow rep for years. So you can imagine a young taffy boy
Yeah.
growing up with a Welsh accent.
Naive, wet behind the ears,
Yeah.
into the East End.
It went down a storm.
Oh,
Got on great.
come on.
Yeah.
Pull a story out of the bag.
Yeah.
Give me one little story from those
it
years.
did absolutely brilliantly. Well, we worked really only in the afternoons because no publican really wanted to see you in the mornings
Okay.
because they were doing drays, deliveries, ordering.
Yeah.
So the great thing was that I was living in a house. There was 5 of us,
Oh, my God.
all 5 blokes, 2 Bulmers reps, 1 for Mars, 1 for Walkers and a barrister.
Oh,
So
that's odd.
So Paddy sorted out all of our disputes with rent, and our garage was full of chocolate, crisps, and booze. So the diet wasn't brilliant.
Well, you're still alive.
Yeah.
It probably didn't last very long because you moved from alcohol sales into telecommunications with Phones for You. Is that right, with the Cordwell Group?
Yes, it was a Cordwell Group. Yeah.
And then Vodafone Business, and then by your early 20s, all this by your early 20s. So why the move then? Was it just, was the alcohol side of it in terms of, was that too much? Was it?
No, it wasn't too much. To be honest with you, it was, the main bit of it was money orientated.
Oh, okay.
So I was on decent basic salaries,
Yeah.
but the on-target earnings,
Right.
which is what you had as a salesperson then.
Yeah.
Your OTs were growing up, and basically it was jumping for money, and I'll say that. But there was, obviously from London to moving back down South Wales from there, that was as a result of a bit of spiralling into addiction up there through peer pressure.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
We'll have a chat about that in a second.
Yeah.
So Phones for You.
Phones for You.
And
Yeah.
Vodafone.
Yeah.
You were then back in Wales, were you?
Yeah, back into Wales. And basically from there, I saw an opportunity for setting up an independent mobile phone dealership.
Which was Quadriga.
Yeah. So basically what we'll do is selling into businesses,
Yeah.
multiple handsets, phones, and I could use, independent, I could use any of the big air providers that paid me a commission then, basically, for putting the businesses onto contracts.
And these experiences, East End, coming back out to Wales, you were still in your 20s at this stage.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
okay. Now,
Yeah.
you've just said it a few moments ago, and you've been very honest about coming to terms, if you like, with past demons. Whilst you were in London, away from home, you admitted to me you had your first major setback there, didn't you? And the reason for coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was linked to addiction, and gambling.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
All right. So tell us what happened.
So basically how I got into that was that, like I said, I was living in a house with 4 other males, individual regular nightlife out.
Yeah.
That went into casinos. And from there was a bit of peer pressure because the boys I was living with some of them were being well subsidised, some of them were on much higher salaries. And I was trying to live up to the norm of what was in the house.
Really.
Yeah, and it got into a stage where I was borrowing money to live with the going out and doing the casino type of thing with the gambling, and it got to a stage where I was feeling better walking out of a casino, having lost some money, thinking, I'm going to get you back next time. I'm going to win. And that feeling drove me to do it more. But unfortunately, I could not sustain that financially.
So over what sort of timeline was this? Weeks, months, years?
No, this was over about the last year.
Right.
So I was in London for 3 years, and that was about the last year. So across that time period, it really started going down.
And did your family know any of this?
No.
And what about the guys in the house? Did they know?
They didn't know that I'd borrowed money.
So where were you borrowing the money from?
Loan sharks. People that I never ever want to experience again in my life.
So were these London-based loan sharks?
Yeah.
So we're talking, and you tell me if I'm wrong on any of
No.
this. So we're talking
Gangsters.
gangland. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I was borrowing money to fund,
habit.
a big gambling habit. And it got to the stage where I was threatened with my life.
In London.
Yeah, yeah.
So is it fair to say you obviously came back to Wales, but did you sort of run away back to Wales?
Had to.
Did they come? Did they follow you down to Wales?
No, didn't get anything from Wales as far as, well, I've never had any contact since then, but it was literally a case of...
and they threatened you with your life,
Yeah,
did they?
yeah, I had a shotgun put in my mouth.
Sorry?
I had a shotgun put in my mouth.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which was not pleasant.
Lee.
Yeah, that's why I moved home.
And you were a young lad in your 20s?
Yeah, mid-20s. Yeah, moved back.
Had you confided with anybody or so?
When I got back, I did, obviously.
Who did you speak to?
My dad.
Oh.
My mum and dad. They didn't know the full extent, but they knew that there was issues with money and gambling habit. So at that point, I moved back home and they said, come in,
Did you have to clear the debt, or did you just, they didn't come looking?
I didn't get anything after that, not at all. Luckily.
Oh my God.
Luckily, because if it had come, then that would have put my family in danger as well.
So you're in your 20s, you've come back to Wales and you try to pick up the pieces, having gone through a horrific experience, life-threatening experience, and the aftermath of addiction and gambling.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a tough one. But when you got back to Wales, life goes on, should they say?
Absolutely.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
But you then went back, I suppose you kept your sanity by working, and hence the mobile phone business, which you talked about. But my God, you must have found some sort of strength, really, to beyond that, as you said earlier, to set up your own business. So how long after you got back from London did you have the strength and the confidence to set up a business?
Pretty quickly.
How quickly?
Within 3 months of moving back.
My God, Lee.
Yeah.
How do you park what just happened to you? How do you shut it out and put it over there to get on with this? How do you do that?
Just being able to, just knowing, one, I had to earn money. Don't get me wrong, I came back into a loving family in a house where I wasn't charged rent.
Okay.
But I knew that I had to grow up and live on my own 2 feet and be able to do something for that. And I saw the opportunity in there, which was the mobile phone side, which I'd had experience in, and I knew that I could sell, because people buy off people at the end of the day, and I knew I could do that.
So you set up your own business called Quadriga?
Yes. Yeah.
What was the business plan? What were you trying to do?
Right. I was trying to develop a successful mobile phone dealership, which I could build up to sell, basically, as a client base. I did pretty well on there, which instead of looking for smaller volumes of number of mobile phone handsets, I was going for the larger contracts. And one of the deals which I got on board was Saga Holidays, which was just over 700 odd handsets, which at that point was a big deal.
You started this business when? What year was this?
Just before 30 then, so 28, something like that, yeah.
Right, okay. You were 28 years old. You set up the business. Yeah. How long did the business last?
2 years.
2 years, all right. So from a standing start,
yes.
Where did the customers come from?
Telemarketing. I employed 4 people at that point to do telemarketing, 2 doing telemarketing, 2 mobile phone sales.
How did you pay them? You didn't have any customers to start with, did you?
No, I did it myself first off, then grew as I could afford it.
So when you walked away, and I'm only interested in this because any budding entrepreneur out there who's thinking of doing things, I've asked you about a business plan, and I've done that for a reason. I want to know, what sort of resources you had in place, how you managed to get this business off the ground, where you found your customers, how you grew the business, how you scaled it. But did you have any funds in place to sort of kick you off?
Nope.
So how did you live? I know you were living rent-free with mum and dad. But
I was, yeah. So, it didn't take a lot of contracts to come in to be able to provide me with the cash flow to be able to then...
So these were business-to-business contracts, were they?
Yeah, yeah.
And you didn't bring any over from your previous connections?
No,
you were standing at a cold start?
Yeah.
Okay, so after 6 months, if I said to you, right, you've been in the business for 6 months, Quadriga, what was your sort of financial position after 6 months?
Financial position was pretty good on number of clients.
Yes.
And they were signed up on 3-year deals, which meant that the commission payments from the airtime providers,
Yeah.
so your O2, your T-Mobile at that time, they were, if you signed them up on multiple year contracts, they were much better commissions. So that led the way where I was getting contracts in
Yeah.
to be able to fund the commissions coming in.
I'd say the commissions were quite lucrative.
Yes,
eh?
they were, yeah. The only downside to that is that the hardware, the mobile phones,
Yes.
you had to purchase and pay on 14 days
Okay.
to buy the hardware. Your commissions weren't paid until 30 days from month end the following month.
Where did you get your money to outlay to buy the phone?
The first one was borrowed money.
Borrow money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not from those horrible people.
No, absolutely not. No, no.
Okay, so you funded the purchasing of the equipment.
Yeah.
You then built up a cash flow. Commission started to flow.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you had some liquidity in the business.
Yes.
You had enough money basically to suddenly start to pay people to help you grow the business.
Yep.
At what point did that happen?
That happened after about 6 months, where there was enough in there then to get an additional salesperson, because I was doing all of the sales myself, and a telemarketer then as well, to actually obtain the data to go and contact the right businesses.
And the telemarketer would make the outbound calls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Try and set up appointments, and you'd go and then
qualified leads,
and then you'd go and follow up.
Yeah, and they get paid on a commission on the qualification.
So we know after 6 months you were starting to generate a bit of money.
Yes.
Let's say after between 6 to 9 months you were employing people.
Yeah.
What was the financial position like after 1 year?
So after 1 year, it was pretty good as far as cash flow wise. The first year in business was, for anybody starting off, was actually really good.
Profit or loss? Were you making money?
About break even.
Breaking even, paying all the bills,
Yep.
covering your overheads.
Yes,
Well done.
absolutely.
Okay. So you're rolling into year 2.
Yep.
You're 18 months in.
Mm-hmm.
How's it looking then?
It was still looking good, and there was about 25, 30K running as cash flow surplus.
Yeah.
So it was in a
Cash
good
in the bank?
Yep, it was in a good position, and then the Saga deal hit.
Right, okay. Saga might be the right word here.
It was.
So you're just after 18 months.
Yep.
Saga was a big customer. You said how many handsets?
740 odd.
You want to outlay the money for that, did you?
14 handsets, yeah. So basically, to do the deal
Yeah.
cost me approximately 70K.
So you outlay the money.
Yeah.
What happened then?
It was going to be commission payments on all of those connections, which was going to be about 130K. The company that I was using to do the supply and the airtime commissions, they also had a retail chain, and that was in danger of going down the Swanee. They were funding that side of their business through commission payments that they were getting from the airtime providers, and didn't pass it back and went into liquidation.
So they went into liquidation.
Yeah.
We're just 2 years in.
Yeah.
You're taking the risks.
Yeah.
Their business folded.
And put me through.
You were one of the creditors, effectively.
Way down the list.
How much did they owe you?
I was £77,000 to them.
What happened to you?
That really affected me. Literally overnight, I had to lay 4 people off with families. That was difficult. That really played heavily on me mentally.
When was this? What year was this? 2026 now.
Yeah, so that, going back, this is when I was about 30. So I'm 50, I'll be 53 in March. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was
20
about...
odd years ago?
Yeah. So it was an
Early
awkward...
2000s?
Yeah, it was an awkward time.
Okay.
That played heavily with their families for me.
So you laid your staff off?
Yeah.
Was it a limited company?
Yes, yeah.
So you had to liquidate your business?
Yes.
But you also then had to go into personal bankruptcy within a year.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, there was 3 things that happened really in quick succession from each other. 1 was the liquidation of the company.
Yeah.
2 was a messy divorce.
Oh my God.
3 was giving the keys back of my home to Northern Rock and saying, I can't do it. Here's the house. So I had to give my house and possessions back. And at the same time then, it was the few things. I didn't have any option but to declare myself personally bankrupt.
My God, Lee.
So I went from being in a really good position that in 12 months, I was dire straits. dire straits, and that affected me for about 6 years with a personal bankruptcy.
And that's hard. That must have been really hard.
Yeah,
But to have that succession of losses,
yeah,
as you said, you said three significant things: liquidating a business.
yeah.
I'm sure at the time, I don't know the detail, but you and your wife must have been under huge pressure because of these financial issues.
Yes, it was. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that the marriage ended or broke
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Marriage dissolved, and then
Then the main family asset, the house,
Yep.
couldn't repay the
Nope.
mortgage.
no, keys went back to Northern Rock, and personally bankrupt. Then I had no option but to do that, which yes had a significant effect on me,
Right.
mentally.
What if?
And
Where were you at this time? Were you back home then with mum and dad, or
no, but I moved back straight in
Right.
with them again. Safety net, loving family. Took me back in. Okay, it wasn't for a long period of time, but it helped me.
where's you? And I know you said that. And if these questions are too difficult, just tell me to
No,
move
that's
on.
absolutely fine.
But I'm just looking at, in such a short life,
Yeah.
up until that time,
Yeah.
you've had huge issues to deal with.
Yeah.
The issues in London,
Yeah,
which is, my God, horrific to say the least.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of success, coming home, finding a way forward, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden this trilogy of
Bum, bum, bum.
carnage, really, in
Yeah,
terms of
absolutely.
losing the business. Okay, really sad that as a creditor, you've lost out because another business has been liquidated. They
Yeah.
can't pay you, so
Yeah.
you've closed down. But then you lose your family, and then personal bankruptcy is
Yeah,
is where where do you go from there? But
absolutely.
so
So
where was your head? Obviously, it might sound like a stupid question, but where were you? Were you on the floor?
right
Couldn't
then.
you function? Or
no, I wasn't that bad at that point because I had people I could talk to. So my dad, was a rock.
Yeah.
At that point in time, but just prior to that, was when I got introduced, unfortunately, to drugs.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
So you filed for bankruptcy. That's done, and then that took you down
Just before then, it was
just before then.
everything that was developing and happening. I got introduced to drugs, and that really is where the big...
Was that because you just couldn't cope and you just needed an escape of some sort, or
Yes, looking back on it, it made me feel better,
yeah?
but that really isn't. That's just a perception of you feeling better. That's all false.
So what types of drugs?
Cocaine. Never done anything else there like that, but it was cocaine, and I was fairly heavily addicted.
So for those people listening to this,
Yes.
including myself,
Yeah.
sort of listening to you say this as openly as this for the first time, really.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Why cocaine? Were you so severely depressed that you were looking for just something to rebalance your brain, or
No, I got introduced, unfortunately, by my ex-wife. I was introduced into that. And it just started as an occasion,
right?
social, that developed into every day.
Right.
And I was hiding it, keeping it a secret. But it got to such a stage and such an addiction level that it was ruining me as a person, people around me as well, even though I was hiding.
Was your personality changing?
100%. I was not a nice person. Yeah. Self-worth, pride. I've always been somebody who's taken pride in their appearance. That went out the window. And at that point, and it sounds horrible to say, I didn't care who I was hurting. And that's hard to take. And that has the adverse effect. You just spiral more and more and more. So that went on for years.
So this was when you were with your wife?
Yep.
Was
With my ex-wife
was she an addict?
No, I don't think so, because she could do it every now and then.
But you were doing it daily?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I was...
sorry, Lee.
No, that's all right.
For you to be able to say these things.
That's why I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
It's because it's taken till now
Right.
to be able to be in a position where I can actually not be ashamed of that because I'm proud of myself, but to be able to help people, to make them realise there's always hope. There really is.
So I suppose for you, and you know, it comes. We all got stories to tell.
Yeah.
You've in your life,
Mm-hmm.
what you've told us to date.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the time in your journey, if you like, before you can come to terms with it and openly to
Absolutely.
talk about it.
Yes, it does.
Because you've probably now processed it,
Yeah.
and you've obviously
With
dealt
a lot of help. But yes, it has taken years and years and years to get to that stage. But I needed to hit rock bottom first.
So when you say rock bottom, there's a lot of rock bottom. Well, it seems like a lot of rock bottoms already. But during the cocaine
Yes.
taking,
Yeah.
the drug taking,
Yeah.
you were still in the family home. I'm asking you the question.
Yeah.
It might not be accurate, but we know that you were put under huge financial pressure because of what happened with the liquidation,
Yeah.
and you were one of the creditors.
Yes.
But did the actual addiction also impact upon your financial
Financials,
situation?
heavily.
So is that one of the reasons why you had to give the keys to the house back as well?
It was a lot of it, lot to do with it. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. There was a lot of compounding issues. Unfortunately, it was all over a short time period, and it accumulated into those scenarios, unfortunately. But
So when you went back to your mum and dad for the second time,
yes,
did your dad know the truth?
yeah, they knew I had a drug addiction. Tried to help in every way possible. We tried various different methods, and sought out different types of help. Counselling organisations, hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
Tried a couple of different things. They didn't seem to work. I thought they would, but then it would be a relapse, and it continued to evolve. But that got to a point then where it was basically kept myself awake for 4 days.
Well, you've mentioned this to me, but
Yeah,
before we started actually talking on camera here, but this is a critical point coming up. But before that, your father,
Yeah.
again, you said you rock.
yes,
He and your mum, obviously, were
Yeah.
welcome back
Both.
home to look after you, but he also threw you a financial lifeline because he brought you into the family business. He gave you a job, basically, didn't
yes, 100%.
he? Which is so important. To give you a purpose, a reason to get out of bed in the morning,
focus.
to give you some income again, which clearly you've been a bankrupt. That was a really difficult period for you. Let's talk about some of the highs at that time, because that is positive in its own right.
Yes.
What did he do? What was the job? What were you doing? What was the...
So basically, I'd always had an interest in what my dad was doing. He used to be the production and quality manager for what was Amersham International then.
I remember them.
Whitchurch.
I remember them.
They got bought out by Kodak.
Right.
And then Johnson & Johnson later on.
Ah,
But Dad left there to set up on his own as a quality consultant.
right. Okay.
I always had an interest in it. Basically, he said, right, you're good at sales. I know ISO.
Yeah.
You go and sell up my services and get some clients in so you can fund your wage.
Yeah.
And that's how that started off. And then it snowballed.
So you were the telemarketer and
Basically, yeah, I'll go knock the doors. Get the business in,
like the cold canvasser.
fund my own wage.
Yeah.
And as a way of saying thank you as well, really.
So you were out there door knocking, making phone calls.
Yep. And learning his trade.
And learning his trade.
Yeah.
Okay. And I suppose that went, you did okay, did you?
Pretty well, yep, absolutely.
Just
yeah.
father and son, just the two of you?
Yep, at that point, just father and son. And then we decided after a couple of years then
Yes.
that we were going to form a company between us rather than Dad being a sole trader.
Yeah.
Started the company, the quality side, natural synergy into environmental.
Yeah.
And then into health and safety from there,
which
is where I did all of my major qualifications in.
So the bankruptcy is over there. It's been put to bed.
Yeah.
You've got a 6-year period or whatever, or a period before you're sort of, I think the word is discharged, isn't it, or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, you are. You got your life back together. You're working with your dad.
Yeah.
But there was something darker behind the scenes, wasn't there?
At all of that point,
It hadn't gone away.
No.
Were your parents aware that it hadn't gone away?
Off and on.
He must have been pulling his
yes.
hair out with you, was he, your dad?
Oh, absolutely. And how they actually didn't book me out, I'll never know.
What would he be saying to you?
Basically, you've got to stop, come and talk. Right, what's the issues? Right, we'll try this, we'll try that. And it just wasn't working.
Why?
I think everybody is programmed different, and some things will work, some things won't. And the therapies that I was undergoing and the counselling sessions, they seemed okay for a short period of time. But what I didn't really understand was what my mechanisms were, how this works, and what I could do to have the tools in my toolbox to stop me doing something. And that's why further down the line, we found the right.
Okay. You were falling off the wagon every now and then.
Yeah.
Because of whatever chemistry or what was going on in your brain or whatever, or what trigger points was happening.
Yes.
And you were having counselling and you were having therapy, but it clearly wasn't working.
No, it wasn't working, no.
Yeah.
No. We managed to find somebody, this was after the rock bottom bit, mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we come to the rock bottom bit, looking back, for anybody who's today facing those similar circumstances or encountering those demons through substance misuse, what would you be saying to them today?
You need to talk. That's the first thing. You need to realise that you've got an issue. Some people find that very difficult to get to that stage. Mine was forced upon me, but a lot of people would find it difficult to actually realise themselves. But to talk, and as soon as you start talking...
Talk to who?
Anybody. It really doesn't matter who you speak to, whether it's a friend, a neighbour, a family member, a counsellor, anybody, a work colleague. Talk, because as soon as you talk, it helps in whatever problem that is.
And were you sort of at that time as well kidding yourself? Were you sort of, did you believe that there was a problem, or were you sort of just still...
I was a bit blasé about it in hindsight. I knew I was doing it, but I didn't think it was affecting that much. But if somebody from the outside looked in, that would be a completely different opinion.
Because you mentioned your appearance and your presentation.
Everything,
okay. Now, you keep going on about rock bottom.
Yeah.
And as I said, I thought we'd hit rock bottom, but we clearly haven't.
No.
Because this unresolved trauma, if you like, this battle that you have ongoing, it became a huge issue. And I think at this stage, because I know you were married, but you also had children, didn't you?
I had one daughter. I wasn't married to my daughter's mother.
Yeah.
But I had a lovely little baby. You know.
And were you around for her?
Not in the early years, anywhere near as much as I should have been.
Okay.
No.
So you said to me, this rock bottom moment, do you remember the date?
Yeah, 17th of March 2012.
What happened?
Basically, I'd kept myself awake for nearly 4 days. Then I had to go up near the Lake District.
How'd you keep yourself awake for 4 days?
Cocaine. Completely.
No sleep?
No. Looked like crap. Didn't have any.
It may look like it. Did you feel rubbish, or you felt okay?
No, I felt okay, because that's what the drugs were doing to me.
4 days?
Yeah, 4 days.
Were you working?
Yeah, hiding it. That's
Anyway,
the type
you
thing.
said you were in the Lake
so,
District.
Yeah, I was up the Lake District, near there, and supporting a client for an audit. And I didn't feel the audit started about 9 o'clock. Didn't feel very good at about 20 to 10. I said, can I just go and grab some fresh air? And I walked out through reception, didn't get to the door to go out. And the next thing I remember is waking up in the hospital, where basically I'd collapsed in the reception area. And they were amazing, mind.
In the client's reception area?
Yeah. Collapsed. All funny things going wrong. They didn't know what the issue was. And I woke up in hospital, and basically my body had been shutting down with fatigue, and it was a lonely place with nobody around. And
So you're on your own.
I didn't think I was going to see my daughter again. That was my
So when you're
rock bottom.
so you're up in the north of England.
Yeah.
You're in a hospital, strange
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
no family around you.
None.
What did the consultant say to you at the time? You
To be
woke up,
I'll be completely honest with you. It was a bit of a blur.
right?
Honestly, bit of a blur. But they said you came you were in a delirious state. They knew obviously what the issue was after doing some tests and everything like that. But they said you're a very, very lucky person that your client got the ambulance there quickly.
You would have died, would you?
Yeah. Okay. I honestly felt that I had died in here.
Was that the turning point?
Yeah. Yeah. That's when I knew I had to make a change.
So you're lying in that hospital bed.
Yeah.
You knew in your heart of hearts that this was it. This was
Yeah.
the big turning point.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your family, your mum and dad made their way up north, did they?
They were in America.
They were in America. So did you get any?
No.
So you're there on your own.
The lucky thing was that my brother-in-law was working in Scotland,
Right.
and he was travelling back
Yeah.
to Wales, and they arranged basically for him to pick me up en route back.
So you're back home.
Yeah.
You say that you knew it on the 17th of March 2012, or the day after that, or a couple of days after that, when in hospital, you knew that was the turning point.
Yeah.
So what now did you start to do differently? What have you been doing since then?
Right. Since then, what I did was looked for the best possible therapist that we could. And it took some searching. But there was, I don't know if you've heard of him, but there's somebody called Professor Stephen Peters, who does a lot of psychology with British cycling team, people like Ronnie O'Sullivan, things like that. So one of his students was taught by him. He was fairly local to us, and we reached out, and he said, "Coming up, and we'll have a discussion and see what we can do." So I went up and I had multiple sessions with Andrew. Absolutely phenomenal guy. Introduced me to a book called The Chimp Paradox.
What's that?
It's a book that basically tells you, it's all about psychology, how your head works. A lot of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. So everything between having an emotion, a thought process, and doing something. It helps you understand what you're doing, basically. That is what I needed at that point in time. It saved my life, 100%.
So how long did it take from this rock bottom moment to finding the therapist for you to really sort of be back on your feet and thinking with clarity? What sort of timeline are we talking about?
Probably 6 months.
Wow, that's significant. That's a huge turnaround in a short period of time.
About 6 months. And purely because he taught me the skills that if I'm at point A, which is a thought process of I want to do something, whether that's gambling, drugs, alcohol, and C, which is actually doing it. For me, it's black and white. There's no grey in the middle, no B, grey. I have to do something. So even if I have these thought process of going from A to C, I do something to take B away. Now, that can be something simple. It can be a phone call on the way home from work every day. It can be walking up a mountain. It can be going for a swim. It is usually, well, for me, it is a change in a mindset of doing something differently. So if I feel that I'm A at any point and I think about doing C, I take B away. And
Is that gym therapy?
Yeah, that's what it taught me. I
And
got that emotion.
Do you still apply that process today?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It makes me want to be the best person I can be after reading that book.
So whenever these thoughts or demons pop up, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they still pop up in your brain today.
I'll give you a prime example.
Please do.
Alcohol, COVID.
Yeah.
I think a lot more people, if they're honest with themselves, probably had too much alcohol intake during COVID. And after that, I do most of the cooking at home.
Yeah.
So I'd be doing the cooking with a glass of wine. Then that would be 2 glasses of wine, then a bottle. That developed from COVID through a couple of years until December the 5th, 2024. So I knew I was going down a slippery slope.
Okay.
Okay, now this is years on from there. I wasn't addicted to alcohol, but I would have been if I hadn't have taken away B, which was I stopped alcohol completely.
So using your chimp therapy module,
Yeah,
or model rather,
yeah.
you're cooking and you're at point A.
Mm-hmm.
Point C is over here, isn't it,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
So point C is the glass of wine.
Yes.
So what's the point B bit now then? So today, when you go home, when you cook and you look at C, what do you put in the middle?
Well, I don't
Stop you getting.
I don't see the C bit, so you can take alcohol away, but that's 0% now. So it's literally my coping therapy to make sure that I didn't have that addiction was to stop drinking alcohol. That was that's my mind process. There's no, lots of people might say, oh, I won't drink through the week. I'll just do it Friday or Saturday and Sunday. That doesn't work with me with the way I'm programmed. I have to take that away.
Your last drink, maybe I've got the information wrong, was on the 5th of December, 2025.
No, 24.
So you have now been sober
Yep.
for the best part of
14 months.
14 months.
14 months. Yep.
Any cravings?
None. None at all.
Any cravings for gambling?
No.
Cocaine?
No. None at all. I realised that it was really, really bad. And now I'm really, really good. And
I was just going to ask you a question. So how do you feel well-being wise? How do you feel in yourself, physically and mentally?
Physically, probably the best shape I've been in since I was 25. Doing a lot of mountain walking. I'm doing Everest Base Camp in October. I've signed up for my first half Ironman, which I'm doing on July the 12th. I know at 53, and I thought, nope, I'm going to do it. So I'm training for that. Clarity of thought, completely different. Clear, up early in the mornings, as I said early. I'm in the office by 6 o'clock. That 2 hours is me time, productive work. But all around, I'm more patient. Everything in my life. And the fact that I can be the best dad I can be.
Well, big congratulations for that, Lee. Honestly, it's taken a lot of character for you to say some of the things that you've said.
It's taken a lot of family, loving family. I've got an amazing wife and my daughter. And for me to do this, it's taken this time because I wanted to make sure my daughter was at the right age to be able to understand about doing this.
Okay.
And she said, if you can help somebody, she said, help them.
Are we talking about Olivia, the daughter?
Yeah.
So this is...
That's my apple.
Yeah, okay. How old is she now?
15.
15.
Yeah.
I say it's a fabulous story. It's a fascinating insight to somebody who's suffered huge demons.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff going on here. You've just mentioned I've got a fabulous wife. So you've obviously remarried.
Yes. Yeah.
You've been remarried how long?
5 years. In August it'll be.
Well, that wouldn't have happened under different circumstances.
Never. No.
Your mum and dad still
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, I remember you telling me that you were working in your dad's business and that relationship must have got better and stronger because, as you said, clarity of mind.
Absolutely.
None of those worries in the background, none of those health issues. But with that clarity in mind, despite the I'm sure your dad's business is still doing really well.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you then, from a pure business decision point of view, I think you've sort of came to a crossroads, you and Dad, with different vision maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And you decided to go your separate ways.
Yep.
So what?
Yeah, absolutely.
But in a positive way, though, is it?
100%, yeah. So after 25 years almost in business, then there's other family, my sister, my niece, her husband, all working for the family business.
This is your dad's family business, proper family business.
Yeah, so we were 50% shareholders each. Yeah. And it was a different vision for the business of which direction. I'd lost a bit of interest in the rail side of the business,
Yeah.
which was a lot of the client base. But not just that, I think I needed to do something for myself as well.
Okay.
So I had to make a pretty, not overnight, but it was a thought process that I went through and thought, right, I'm going to do this. And I had a heart to heart with Dad. We sat down, worked things out, amicable split completely. And he wished me all of the best, the same as my mum has, even though, yes, it caused a few ripples in it with the family life.
Well, there's been bigger ripples, I think.
We've overcome worse, absolutely, but fully supportive, and left the business and set up South Wales Safety then in May 2024.
So you're coming up to your second year anniversary.
Yeah.
Bring us up to speed. Tell us how successful South Wales Safety is. What's the business plan? Where are you going? Is it looking good? Have you got plenty of cash flow and all those? You've learnt the lessons from the past?
I've learned a lot of lessons from the past.
Yes.
And one of them is to make sure that you plan properly. Sit down, write it down, and I always spend at least quarter of an hour at the end of each working day planning, thinking, right, could I have done something differently today? That's on a personal level, and also on a business point of view is, right, what have I got lined up? How am I going to get myself to that dream there? And little bite-sized chunks, proper planning. We're I think it's 108 clients.
Well done.
Now, from almost a standing start.
And remind us of the services. We covered this at the outset of the interview, but just remind us of the core services.
So the core services are health and safety specific support contracts.
So making sure businesses are compliant.
Yeah, making sure they got the right safe systems of work in place, risk assessments, going out to construction sites, doing inspections. And then we've got the ISO side of the business, which is key for a lot of people, a lot of businesses trying to get on approved supplier lists and tenders where they need quality, environmental and health and safety standards. So we help with those. And then the fire risk assessing side of the business, that's going from strength to strength. But that's unfortunately is a fallout from Grenfell, where a lot of legislation is being looked at the moment, and competence of individuals and the companies to be able to do fire risk assessing is the bar is being raised up.
Absolutely. So but it is.
So that's 3 real divisions at the moment. I've literally just made a job offer this morning.
Have you really?
To somebody else, out of necessity. But through a couple of candidates, this one stood out. So there's myself, my stepson, Owen, on board, who's hit the floor running. He's like a duck to water.
Is he the salesman?
No, he's not. He's a really, really good fire risk assessor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's brilliant. But from there then as well, there's a couple more guys on board and 3 subcontract people as well doing construction site inspections for me as well. So it's going from strength to strength. Really nice, solid business at the moment.
It is honestly, it's a fascinating story, and there's so many, not lessons really, but for anybody listening to the podcast, what you've been through, and how you've sort of come to terms with some of the things that you've done, and where you've sort of eventually sort of put your hand up and realize there are issues there and take responsibility for it and try to do something about it. Okay, nearly cost you your life.
It did.
2 occasions. Once with a with a double barrel shotgun in your mouth, and secondly in terms of the collapse up at the Lake District.
Yeah.
But nobody's judging anybody.
No.
I think what comes out of this is, despite all of those horrific experiences, here you are today, a successful business entrepreneur, growing a business, telling the story, and there's wonderful lessons really for people who are facing difficult issues.
Absolutely. And I know there are lots of people out there.
And you're not going to look too close from home.
No, absolutely.
You mentioned COVID and people, behaviours changing, people drinking too much. I know I drank too much through COVID, so,
I think there's, I think that's why I do a fair bit for charity as well, because there's a couple of mental health charities
Is this
around.
where the Everest Base Camp kicks in now then, is
Yeah,
it?
there's a lot of... I try to do everything I can for charity, to be honest with you.
So the Iron Man,
Half Ironman. I can't
that's
do a full
charity
one.
related, is it?
Yes.
Who's
yeah.
the charity?
Two Wish Upon a Star. Well, it used to be Two Wish Upon a Star. They're Two Wish Cymru now.
Okay.
They've been supporting members of my family for years.
Yeah.
Suddenly bereaved parents. They
Yeah.
provide absolutely essential support for. And that was born out of tragedy for Rhian Mannings, who's the founder. So basically, she set up a charity so that nobody else had to go through sudden bereavement of a child or up to 25 and not have any support there.
I've met her.
Yeah, amazing, inspirational woman.
So well done on supporting that.
Thank you.
The Everest Base Camp
Yep.
trek.
Yes.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
What charities are
I'm
supporting?
going to do that for Big Moose charity, which is
Wow.
Cardiff based.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hopped on a bike and did some cycling for them not long ago
In an orange suit?
Yes. I was actually had an elf hat on, so so I'll be doing that for them.
Who are you going with, or is that something you've organised yourself, or are you going with a group?
No, it's a group. I'm a member of BNI Intrepid, which is a networking group on a Cardiff Friday morning in Cardiff, and Anthony Williams from AR Drainage is organising that. He's done it before, so he's organising it, and I think there's about 12 of us all together going. So we literally booked the flights yesterday, so that's all systems go, and that's always been on my bucket list.
Well done.
Yeah, so looking forward to that.
Lee, do you know what? It's always a pleasure. I tell you what's fascinating about your story. It's honest. It's brutal. It's horrific. It's emotional.
Yeah.
Really emotional. But my God, it's inspirational.
Thank you.
It really is. And for you to sit there and say what you've done and turn your life around the way you have,
Yeah.
it is truly an inspirational story. It really is, and I thank you very much for coming on.
And I thank you for the opportunity, because if I can give one person hope, I've done my job.
I think you've done your job. I think you've done it remarkably well.
Thank you very
Keep
much.
doing what you're doing. Keep doing
will.
the good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you so much.
Take care,
Lawrence,
mate.
pleasure.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.